Veterinarians, what was the worst pet name you have ever encountered in your job? Envelope. Actually, Darren, it's pronounced envelope. Envelope is the name of the cat in the books. They are my son's favorite books at the moment. Web link. So I'm not a vet, but I'm deeply involved in the horse world. There's a discipline called halter, and many of the horses are genetic atrocities to begin with. They've been bred to the point of uselessness. When naming quarter horses, many breeders like to create a registered name that incorporates the parents' names and bloodlines. So, somebody bred together the stallion Kids Classic Style and the mare Look Untouchable. The best name that the breeders could come up with for the foal? Kids Look Untouchable. Yeah. That's the best they could come up with. Wow. I mean, there are no good names to be had there, but there are some that are at least horse show good. Touchable Style, Lookin' Classic. Come on, people. For a pedigree name, I'd say that Lookin' Classic is a pretty decent score. Horse names in Europe go from cool like Warblade to straight up ridiculous like Puppy. Sexy, for a Chihuahua. Just made the whole consultation very awkward. If you could just lift Sexy up here please, thank you. Now I might need your help to hold Sexy down. I'm going to put this in your butt Sexy, but I'll be quick. Yes, but will you bring Sexy back? Yes, since the other boys obviously don't know how to act. Yay. Take it to the bridge. One of my boys wanted to name one of our dogs Meat Stack. My son was 6 when we adopted the puppy. Same kid wanted to name his brother Turtle Flower when he was born. Needless to say, he is not in charge of naming things in our household. My older daughter wanted to name her baby sister either Light of Stars or Mr. Moochinbot. This from the child who names her stuffed animals after what kind of animal they are. I love Mr. Moochinbot. Old neighbor lady had a cat named Face. Because it had a beautiful face, she said. That actually works great if she has 3 other cats named Hannibal, B.A., and Murdoch. B.A., I pity the fool who tries to get me in that cat carrier. Murdoch, have some milk, B.A. B.A., milk does a body good, fool. Thump snores. That's honestly so sweet. Odd, but sweet. My brother-in-law named his cat Salad. I once did that too. Diego? That you? Not me going through your previous posts to find your name. Is it you, sibling? My name is Tony. I've never heard that name. Where is it from? Forgotten 4th member. Web link. Klitzy. The last name of one of my mom's employees is Klitzy Skeptical, poor girl. Mulva Klitzy? Dolores. I had a customer named Klitty. I thought WTF must be hearing things, so asked her to spell it out. She responds, sure, C-L-I-T-T-Y. I still didn't believe it and made a note to check the receipts following the service. Sure enough, on her Visa receipt, Klitty. A few years ago at my job, an order came through for David Supernword. Thought I was being trolled, but we looked it up and he's a real guy but is currently in jail. YouTube link. I once worked in a place where the head contractor's name was Dick Gooddick. The final boss of Tinder. I used to work at a pallet repair yard and a bloke had the last name Pallet. Initial AA Pallet. Funny as F when delivery drivers asked him for his name to sign the delivery note. I had an arborist come to our place to see what he can do with our overgrown grass and possibly cutting a big tree in our front yard. His name was something Gardner. Guess he was destined for his job. Your dentist's name is Crentist? Sounds an awful lot like dentist. Maybe that's why he became a dentist. Was she the click commander? Well, that's definitely the trashiest thing I've read all day. I kind of hope they let their toddler name the cat, and the toddler just made a silly sound. When I was little, I apparently wanted to name our cat Tit because I thought it was a nice name. I had a cat named Booby as a child. My husband's childhood cat's name was Doobie. His parents named it, but apparently Doobie, or something that sounds like it, different alphabet, is Hebrew for teddy bear. I'm rolling up a teddy bear. Mu Pi Omicron Mu Pi Eta Sigma is quite common dog name in Greece, and it's pronounced like boobies. So, the cat was more cultured than I am? Damn. Better than owning a snake named Urethra. WTF else do you name a snake? My first pet that I can remember getting was a fish when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I named him Clock because I happened to be looking at a clock when my mom asked what I wanted to name him. My 4-year-old tried to name our puppy Refrigerator. So how's Fridge doing nowadays? Seems to be running around in the park. My son named his beta fish Karate. Kids do come up with the best names. Edit, my first award, thank you kind Redditors. Because he is a fighting fish. In the South, I was in a waiting room with someone who brought their chicken named Tikka. Like chicken tikka. My husband named all of our chickens after food dishes, kung pao, marsala, etc. These chickens were only for egg laying, not to be eaten. My dog's name was Freddy. The vet put it in as Freddy. I felt so ridiculous, and never told them that's not how he spells his name. The vet tech entered Popsicle's name as Popcycle, and I have never been more offended. My cat doesn't even have pedals or anything for riding, what the hell. I'm laughing so much at the pedals comment and the visuals it's giving me of someone pedaling around on a giant cat. I had a similar incident with my guinea pig named Ice-T. They put him in as Ice-T. And I was like, no, it's spelled like the rapper. You just reminded me of my time working at a pet store and being in charge of naming guinea pigs when they went into the isolation room. I'm sure our vet thought we were crazy when we brought pigs named Puff Piggy, Notorious Pig, Piggy Smalls, etc. in for checkups. Embarrassed smiley face. We were at a local farm with a petting zoo and their pigs were named Piggy Azalea and Piggy Smalls. Nope, vet didn't think you're crazy. Vet enjoyed all the punny jokes and likely added more on their own. I just spayed a kitten named Mice T. Raccoon. Our daughter was 3 when she named the all-black cat. I still have no idea why she named him that. He does appear a bit chunky like a well-fed raccoon now. There was once a guy that was selling his black cat. He called it Astasa. Astasa was a group of soldiers from Croatia in the 1990s. They are taboo today because of the crimes/things they did. Didn't Hitler/Nazis disown that group because they found the things they did were so heinous? Yup, they were horrified. You know it's bad when liberal Nazis think you're taking things too far. Shockingly enough, the Croatian president actually posed with a group of neo-Nazis in front of the Astasa flag a few years back. There's actually an annual Holocaust Remembrance Day that the Croatian Jewish community has been boycotting because the government continues to humor fascist groups. Imagine being bad enough that even Hitler rejects you. Not a vet, but I took in a cat from a family named Lord Whimsalot III. Yes, there were previous Lord Whimsalots. We nicknamed him Wimmy. What a whimsical name. My old neighbors apparently thought it would be a good idea to let their 3-year-old name their dog. The dog was named Dump Truck. Had a client who let each of their 3 children name the cat. The poor cat's name ended up being Hungry Jack Biscuit. A cat named Jack, or Biscuit doesn't seem so bad. Yes, but we had to call him Hungry Jack Biscuit every time. They were very insistent we use the full name. I'm also very particular you call my tiny Jack Russell Zeus, God of Thunder. That, or dog. Well? Was the kid correct? Did the dog have ass or no? Master, I'm trying to sneak around but I'm dummy thick and the clap from my ass cheeks keeps alerting the squirrels. My grandmother's jet black and incredibly angry cat was called Rainbow. Edit, I'm not a vet either. Ex-girlfriend was a vet nurse. She came across a cat in the system called Horatio Bradshaw Roadwork. Edit, thanks for the gold. Don't be a crap lord, I'm just being polite. They asked for the worst name, not the best. That is utterly fantastic. I'm someone who likes to give my cats completely ridiculous strings of names, and I must give that one its proper cred. Edit, y'all are hilarious. I have met my people. Everyone's pet names are amazing. If I may be permitted to introduce His Righteousness, Shaolin Disco Breakfast of the Clan of Polydactyl of the House of Maine Coon, Lover of Water and Walker of the Forbidden Countertops. Her Excellence, Marabee Alora Ryan and Guanyin, Sugarpaws Shadowtail, Queen of the League of Extraordinary Cats, and Mistress of the Mysteries. Her Wildness, Athena Mirabella Rayado Bandal Italo, the Fierce, Most Beautiful, Stripy Outlaw Gypsy Cat, Hilarious, and Magnificent, Baiter of Dogs and Scammer of Love, of the genuine Tennessee Barn Cat line, or as their vets knew them, simply Shaolin, Marabee, and Bandit. I used to volunteer, not as a vet, at an animal shelter. We had to give all the stray cats/dogs that came in names, for in the database. They had to be unique because sometimes you had to do a search and you can't have the name Simba popping up 1,000 times. It happened. So one time we had 2 dogs that came in together and they named them, Sala and me, Salami. It was just for during their stay, the owner was free to change the names. So not that bad, and my coworker was very creative. Went for a shelter visit the other day and the head of the rescue team was telling us that he named a dog Staircase, because he found it at a staircase, and at that point he has taken in so many strays that he couldn't think of another name. I almost adopted a dog at a shelter who was named Banjo because he was found on the road somewhere with a toy banjo in his mouth. Banjo is a great name for a dog. It's going on my list of potential names for hypothetical dogs that I may or may not own at some point in the indeterminate future. So that's why all the animals have weird names at the shelter. My friend's cat was named Sugar Cream at the shelter. For my part, I discovered that animals with stupid names were adopted quicker because people felt sorry for them. I once named a pair of guinea pigs Alan Rickman and Brian Bless. They were rehomed same day. Oh, also a rabbit called Starscream. When I fostered kittens, I loved naming them weird names. There was Cinnamon and Skunk, Cheese Puff and Sundae, Kit Kat and Snickers, Wormwood, and lots of old-fashioned names like Wilbur and Ethel. Oh. Juju Beans was my first. And there was even a Kevin and Phyllis, lol. Man, I miss fostering. My dog came from a shelter, her name was Maggie. The person who named the dogs wasn't the most creative. I've met 3 other Maggie dogs who came from the same shelter that same year. Obligatory not a vet disclaimer, but story at a vet's. My roommate had a dog called Taquito, and we once had to go to the emergency vet at night because it was having trouble breathing. The dog goes in with the vet and maybe half an hour later a vet's assistant comes out, goes straight for the Latino-looking couple at the other end of the waiting room and just asks them, "Taquito?" They were looking so confused and slightly offended, especially since the assistant kept repeating it when they didn't answer. My roommate was slow on the uptake with it being the middle of the night and just being frozen on the spot by the awkwardness of the moment, but she finally spoke up and said, "Taquito is my dog." No one looked at each other for the remaining time we were there. Edit, thank you for the awards and for sharing your similar stories. It makes up a little for still cringing about that moment 10 years later. Edit 2, a bit more info about Taquito. He was a rescue and my roommate just kept his name because I guess it just fit. He was fine on that night, just a case of kennel cough that went away on its own. He went on to live a full life of being the worst dog ever and passed away of old age. Oh, I'm getting second-hand cringe from this one. I'm getting third-hand cringe from this one. I used to work in a sushi joint next door to a Peruvian chicken place. It wasn't uncommon for Hispanic people to start to come in, realize they were in the wrong place and go next door. One busy-ish night I was serving and a family, Hispanic, came in and stood by the door. My boss, the owner and sushi chef, Korean guy, looks at them and says, "Pollo?" "Pollo there," and points next door. They said, "Oh no, we're here for sushi." It was awkward enough, and then because the whole restaurant heard it, small place like 8 tables, one of the couples told me they wanted to pay the Hispanic family's bill. Which honestly just made me feel more awkward because it was such an obvious pity move. The table that paid their bill left me $2 and a Jesus pamphlet, by the way, while the family gave me $15, which was appropriate, like 20% of their check. It was awful and awkward. Me and my family went to a sushi place, and at one point the waiter came up to us and said, "Oh, you guys are Indian, right?" And came back 10 minutes later with a plate of Japanese curry, on the house. It was kind of strange, but we couldn't complain about free food. I am a Spanish genius. Senior Chang. My dad has always wanted a dog named Ashim, so when someone asks what your dog's name is, you can just say Ashim. Edit, thanks for the free awards. That's quality dad joke there. Ashim, Ashkim, is also a word of endearment, basically meaning my love in Turkish too, so your dad unintentionally went bilingual also, lol. My husband can never see this comment. I'm a father, and who is this getting thrown around? Kitty. Now you may be wondering why that's a bad name. Kitty was an iguana. Edit, should add I met this iguana when I was taking my dog to the vet. I'm not a vet. This is my favorite so far. My cat is called Hamster too. I used to have a hamster called Hamster. I rescued Fat Crap Cat when he was 23 pounds and got him down to 13 pounds, so Fatty was known to our vets by cat since we didn't know how it would play. The fat crap is silent. I've seen a rat called the cat. It was named after the Red Dwarf character. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.